psychic. I'm hanging out with you live here on YouTube. I just broadcast the first episode of Dena McHan's Dena McHan and her going missing. Basically, what it is it's just the live that I'm gonna do right now and talk about what happened and why that episode in the beginning in the whole series is just going to be short. When I got brought into this, I got it brought in completely blind. I didn't know anything about the case. I didn't know anything about California. I didn't know anything about anything, and I want the audience to feel that way because I want you to be intrigued and I want you to do some of your own research into this. I said at the end of the interview that mediums and psychics don't typically solve these sorts of cases. However, we could be really good tools and indicators of where the investigation should be heading or could be heading. And we could also give the investigators that have already been working on the case a little bit better of a general idea if they're heading in the right direction or not. So we always think in the paranormal world that if we're using equipment and we say, how many fingers am I holding up? And we hear somebody say 3, and then we switch and we say, how many now? And it says 5. When you have a relevant response within the time that you've asked, it's more than a coincidence that you're getting the proper response. So it's the same when it comes to mediumship. I'm an evidentiary medium, which means that when I connect with people who have passed, they have to give me information that is relevant to themselves and the people who may be around them. And in this case, my first case ever that I've taken doing any sort of cold case or possible crime or missing person. And it took over a year for that recording to make sense. So that's why I left it. Next episode, I'm going to have Tracy Myers, who has been the liaison between myself and the family, come on, and I'm going to interview her and ask her a lot of questions that are going to bring a lot into light and how I really became involved much later after that recording. So Lance, the gentleman's voice who you heard on that recording, was very unsure about the things that I was saying. You could hear it in his voice. You could tell that he was like, none of this makes sense. I don't even know what to tell this guy. He took a chance on me, and at first it was not paying off. However, if you've been following me for some amount of time, you know that it did pay off because they brought me out in August to California from here in New Jersey to help further the investigation. Now, to me, that means a lot because they put a lot of faith in me that I knew what I was talking about after several months of doing other readings as well. I don't know that they're recorded. Tracy will have to provide me with anything that she may have recorded, but we have so much evidence that puts us in the right direction and helps my readings be more accurate. And what I mean by that is I gave the information without knowing it, and later on, the evidence that was found or discovered helped that information be more relevant and help us know that we were going in the right direction to find Dena. I hinted at the fact that I did the reading from a parking lot here in my town, and I think that in the next episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about that because, quite honestly, to me, I like being as professional as possible in the things that I do. And I was doing a reading from a parking lot in my car is not that professional to me. However, a lot of things worked out in a very interesting and non-coincidental way because of the themes of the places where we looked and where the reading started, and the fact that I'm in law enforcement and I am a patrolman, and I did this reading from the front seat of my vehicle, my personal vehicle, by the way, where a lot of my work originates, sitting in the car waiting for the radio to go. So there's more at play here, I think, and it was set up in a very interesting way that the universe put forward for us. Just a couple months prior to this phone call, this first reading for Lance McHan and the family, I had said to my wife, I really enjoy doing the paranormal stuff. I really enjoy doing the ghost stuff. I really enjoy being Scotty the medium. But I feel like there's more that I could be doing. And I feel like maybe missing persons is something that I should be getting involved in. So with that, the universe, I think, listened to me and said, okay, you want to do some missing persons? We're going to launch you right into it. And things aligned where I agreed to do what I was doing. And through this all has been very, very seamless. Thanks to the amazing work of Tracy and the rest of her team, the family being so gracious and having me come in and help them, and just the way things have unfolded and the trust that they put in this process. So if you have any questions, I can see them come up. If you have anything that you'd like to ask, please do that. If not, if you're watching this on the replay because it's on during your favorite TV show, maybe you're watching it tomorrow, please just leave a comment here. I'm going to answer everyone. Any kind of comment that comes through here, I will get to, whether it's right now or later on. But yeah, those were the really important things that I thought that we should address. So how do you feel about me coming through the way that I did, and how we handle that first episode? What other things do you think that we should incorporate moving forward? Aside from the fact that, again, I am going to have hopefully some of the family members on. They will be able to come on and tell me their stories and the things that were going on in their lives at the time Dena went missing. Of course, we're going to show you, we have maps, drawings, other mediums and psychics were involved in this. In 1981, we're going to play some recordings from one of the suspects that we think is involved in this. We're going to take you through all of the twists and turns. This is a very true paranormal, true crime. There were mediums who did not want any media attention that came forward to the family, and they gave information about Dena that was pretty spectacular. And then I hit on the same things 40 years later without ever meeting them. So there's a lot of very interesting things at play here, and I think very much so that Dena wants to be found. So that is very much the point of what we're doing here. And it's with everybody's help of sharing these videos forward, making it known what we're doing, and maybe come up with theories that we haven't come up with yet. I'm okay with being wrong as far as the mediumship goes. I think we have a very good lead, and I think that in the future we're going to find her. We are actually waiting, I guess, for some time to come up for us, where I'm going to come back out to California and help look for her in a spot that I think is very relevant, where the entire investigation led us, which you're going to see because I videotaped so much, vlogged it, recorded it, whatever you want to say, so much of it, the trip out to California, and Tracy and I running around like nuts for 4 days, running on nothing but caffeine and good Mexican food. So that's all I wanted to address. And every week right after the episode, I'll be going live for a couple minutes and talking about it. I might make the time a little bit earlier in the day, depending, but I wanted the people on the West Coast who are involved in this to be able to watch as well if they wanted live. So do me a favor, the video prior to this, if you can, just copy the link, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Instagram, and any place that you share social media. Not for me, but for Dena. Let people know that she's missing and we want to bring her home. So that's it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Do me a favor, a like and a share go a long way here. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching with me on that live premiere. Hopefully next week when we have Tracy on, she is a very entertaining person, and you're going to like to hear all the details that she has and how the reading finally matched up and why, and how we got so involved in everything. So Until next week, thank you so much for hanging out with me. My name is Scott, and we're going to look for Dena until all of the leads are exhausted. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining.